Hey guys, how are you? Happy Monday. It is the morning after the class that we had last night, which was the rail form from Wood Ideas by Dora. And I'm so glad that I have an extra one of these forms because we had a little bit of I need a new table. Look how ripped that is. I'm so sorry. We had some technical difficulties with the recording with the class last night. I think I was hitting one of the buttons to look at a chat message that someone had sent me, and I paused the recording and I didn't realize it. So we lost a big chunk of the recording last night, and I'm so sorry. The one that I made last night was the Life's a Beach. This is the welcome, or it's actually not welcome, it's just the summer sign with the little watermelon. I wish I had more watermelon ribbon because that would go perfect in this sign, but I do have a ton of other ribbon I can use. The method to attach the mesh is exactly the same as we did in class last night. So you just go ahead and you run your pipe cleaners through these lines here, and then you attach your mesh. I don't have enough ribbon to make a bow. If you attended my class last night, you saw my failed attempt at trying to make a hand-tied bow. I can make a hand-tied bow, but I think it kind of frustrated me when I realized the class had paused the recording, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. So that was kind of a mess. I have a pro bow, and I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just get that pro bow out and I'm going to practice on it because I can make wreaths, I can make, pretty much anything with mesh, but I just stink at making bows. I'm just one of those people. So I think what I'm going to do at some point this week, since it's too hot to really do anything outside, is I'm just going to get my pro bow out and practice with it. There's lots of ways you can make hand-tied bows. I did post a video from Hardworking Mom where she made 9 different types of hand-tied bows. And I've made a hand-tied bow before. I think just last night, like I said, I was off. But let's not go on about that. So when you attach your hanger, if you do want to add a bow, by all means, go ahead. I really don't have enough ribbon that matches the sign to make a bow anyway. What I'm going to be using is just a bunch of leftover ribbon that I have from other projects. I hate to throw my ribbon tails away, so I always am able to find a use for them someplace else. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'll still show you how to attach the cord, your hanger. So let's just go ahead and get started. And really all you need is a bunch of pipe cleaners that try to find a color that matches the mesh that you're going to use. I'm actually going to be using this leftover mesh. I hope I have enough of the red. If I don't, I think I have some more red somewhere. I have this yellow striped jute mesh and I have a red. So I thought that would be nice. I don't really have a green that matches that. My daughter's getting home. Let me just close the door. I don't really have a green that matches the green in the watermelon, but that's okay. I think this yellow and this red will look nice. If I don't happen to have enough red, I think I have some more red somewhere. So all you really start doing is just you start attaching your pipe cleaners. I wouldn't go all the way to the end. I mean, you can if you want to. And 3 inches apart is a good space. You don't want your ruffles too close together because then you're not going to get your ribbon to lay right. So 3 inches is good. So just go ahead and start attaching your, even if you want to make little marks ahead of time, just get a pencil or something and make little marks on your rail. It's going to be covered anyway. I thought I saw my daughter walking up to the door. Okay. So 3 inches is good. You want to maybe go ahead and feed it through first and then measure it. But again, I noticed when I was adding my ribbon to my other one that I made, I think I kind of had the ruffles too close together, so my ribbon wasn't laying the way I really wanted it to lay. Now I know I told you in the supply list and prep to cut your mesh into 10-inch pieces. That's fine. These pieces that I have left over from another project are actually 15-inch. That'll work too. Somebody asked me during class if you could do 30-inch ruffles. I don't see why not. Hold on one second, please. Well, can you close that door so you don't let the hot air in, please? You could do spirals if you wanted to. The only thing is, what I would recommend is if you're going to be doing 10-inch pieces, add 2 per tie. If you're using 10-inch pieces of mesh. If you're using 15 inches like I have here, you can do 1 per tie. It really just depends on how full you want it. This isn't really designed to have a ton of mesh on it like a wreath. I've actually seen these made with just florals and no mesh. I've seen these made with just ribbon, just bows. It's all in what you like. I think this is gonna work out. What I might want to do is push this one over on the end though, because see how I want to make sure that I have them spaced evenly. Like, hold on a second here. Now this one's all the way to the end here, and this one isn't. So I don't want that to cause an issue, because I'll have more hanging off of this end. I'm going to push this over a little bit here. I'm going to push it over to the end and see if I can't just squeeze another one in the middle, because this one's on the end. You see what I mean? I don't want this one to be on the end and then the other one not to be on the end and then looks lopsided. I'm just going to put another one in the middle there. I might not need it. I could just push this one over a little bit. Let me see. My cat's going crazy because my daughter is out. I had to lock her up because she cannot be trusted around my dog. I think that's actually good. I'm just going to push this one over a little bit. I don't want to put 2 pipe cleaners really close together. This rail form is a little bit longer than the one I did last night. The one I did last night was more tall, so I don't think I put as many pipe cleaners across the bottom. This will work here. So see how I have one on either end. And then I just filled in the middle. That might be a good way for you to start it. Put the ones on the end first, and then evenly space these ones out in the middle. So that'll work. I need to put my AC on. It's kind of warm in here. I hope it doesn't make too much noise, because it is kind of loud. Hold on one second. This heat is ridiculous. You can't even go outside. Okay. So what we're going to start doing is making ruffles. I like to fold my end under a little bit. Just a little bit like that, just to keep the phrase. Just kind of fold the end under. And place it the long way. I think I'm really only going to need one of these per tie, because it is 15. They are 15 inches. I'm going to spread it out a little bit, and then I'm going to go to the yellow. I don't remember what I used this yellow for. I tried to think what wreath I used this in. It might have been the lemonade wreath. And when you're laying your next ruffle down, try not to squish the one before it. Like lift it up. So they're pushing each other up, and you're not squishing it down. A bit to the red. These really do not take long at all. You're not doing a whole wreath. You're probably adding 5 or 6 or 7. How many ties did I put on here? Maybe 8 pieces of mesh. Obviously, if you have 10-inch pieces of mesh cut, you're going to do 2 per tie. But this is a thicker mesh too. I think this is a fabric mesh. So I'm only going to do 1 per tie because it's thicker. Let that be your guide too. If you have a thin mesh, I had a thin mesh last night that I had gotten from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I apologize, and it was thinner. So I did have to do 2 per tie. So how many ties do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 7 ties. So you're not going to have a ton of mesh on these. Again, it depends on the width of the rail that you buy. The one that I did last night was not as wide. I can't remember how many ties I had on that. I have to go and count. Back to the red. I think I have just enough red left. I think I have 2 pieces of red left, and that's exactly what I need. That worked out well, didn't it? I love when that happens because I hate to have waste. Let me do that all over again. I don't like the way that one ruffled. Wood Ideas by Dor, that is the name of her group. It's a closed group, so you do have to go and request to join. Her name is Dora Shaver. You can buy these rail forms either painted or unpainted. I really am not good at painting, so I got mine painted. They are a little bit less expensive when you order them unpainted. She's got a lot of cute designs coming out now for the fall, and yes, Christmas time, believe it or not, this ruffle isn't cooperating. So basically the way it works is you go to her group page, again, Wood Ideas by Dor. I did post a link under the class listing in the events calendar for this class. You have to go and request to join her group. And then if you see a sign or a rail that you like, the best thing to do is just to comment on the group page that you're interested in that rail form and that you're sending her a PM. That's how she takes her orders, is via private message. If you go to comment on the group page and say, how much is this one? I'd like to order it. One of her other members is going to jump on and they're going to say, no, that's not how you do it. You have to send her a message. I think it even says in her cover photo, it's got like group guidelines and how you do it. So that's how you order from her. And I don't really know how busy she is right now, but she's usually pretty busy because everybody loves her stuff. So I would, if you need this for a certain customer or an event, I would give it at least 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks turnaround time, especially if you want her to paint it for you. She takes custom orders too. If there's, maybe you want somebody's last name, she can do those too. Look at that. I'm going to have just enough red. I've got 1 more piece of red left. It worked out perfectly. How fast was this? I don't even know how long I've been recording here. Would it take me 20 minutes to put these on? This is not like a wreath. You're not putting mesh into 18 ties. This is 8 pipe cleaners, 8 or, depending on the width again of your rail. And that's that. So we have some red on the ends. We got some yellow in the middle. And that's going to look really nice once I get my ribbon on. Now, just pulling out these extra frays here. Try to keep your hoofs pushed down if you can so you don't cover up your sign, or your ruffles, I should say. You don't really want to cover up your sign. That's that so far, and that looks really super cute. Okay, now like I said, I have a bunch of leftover ribbon from other projects that I think I'm going to use here. Gingham always looks nice for a watermelon wreath. I have some green and I have some red. I think I might put a couple of pieces of this polka dot in because there is black. Sorry for my head. There is black in the seeds. Let me see here. I do have some yellow gingham as well. It might be a little bit too much of an overload of gingham, but let's see how that works. And I also have some of this plaid. So I don't really have any orange in the sign, but it is a 2.5. So I kind of want to see, I always like to pair a 2.5 with a 1.5. I just kind of want to see how this is going to look together. And I'm pretty sure these are cut at 14 inches. They might be a little bit too long. I think I'm going to start with the red. And I'll do the red with the yellow. Put that in my red. Where my red mesh is. And I kind of like to get these facing down. You can do the side up a little bit. You can see how if your ruffles are too big, you got to kind of be careful when you're laying your ribbons down. I kind of like to curl mine under a little bit. This is a little bit frayed up again. Cut this piece. Give it a fresh cut on the end. I might snip these down a little bit shorter too. These seem a little bit long to me. I think I'll put a little bow tie in the middle. You've seen me make my bow ties. Just go ahead and kind of overlap it. Make a little bow to put in the middle. And this little red pipe cleaner in the middle, you can snip this off. Or sometimes what I do is I just sort of like kind of fold it in and curl it under. So you have like a little almost like a ball in the middle with your pipe cleaner. Just like that. You can leave that there just like that. There's nothing wrong with that. That looks kind of cute because it is red. So that's our first ribbon tail there. ribbon bundle, however you want to put it. So I think for the middle of the yellow, I'll try to do this and see how this looks together. I might not use this orange. I'm going to cut this down a little bit too. These are really long. That's a little better. If you want to maybe take, instead of putting all your tails down, you could maybe put one up and one down. Like that. I gotta look at this for a minute. I gotta see if I like this orange or not in here, this orange and green. Let me just hold that up for a second and take a look at it. Yeah, I do kind of like that. I think I'll put a green bow tie in the middle. This one I may snip off. Just a little. I do want to incorporate some of this black and white polka dot because of the black and the watermelon. This needs to be snipped off a little bit too. It's a little raggedy on the end. Just to give it a nice fresh cut because they've been sitting in my bag of extra ribbon bundles for quite a while. Okay. I'm going to try to incorporate a couple of pieces of this in. I'll do this with the yellow. Let's see how that looks. A lot of times you never know how something's going to look until you put it in there. I think I'm going to skip a tie though, because I don't want my ribbon to be too crowded. So I'm just going to kind of tuck this other pipe cleaner down a little bit. I can probably cut it off, but I'm not ready to cut it off just yet. So I'm going to skip over to this other yellow one. Because I feel like if I put it ribbon in every tie, it's going to cover up the other ribbon. So and I think I'm going to do a black and white bow tie. And a lot of times I don't really know how my ribbon's going to look until I get it in there. I had a sunflower ribbon I was going to use too, but I think that might have been just a little bit too much yellow. just going to snip off that extra big finger. A little bit of black and white in there. Helps to bring out the black and white in the seeds. So I'm going to go back to the gingham. I'm going to do the gingham, the red gingham again. And I think I'm going to do the green with it instead of the yellow. And these are way too long. And I think I'm going to skip a tie. Sometimes your ruffles are a little bit poofy. You gotta tuck this tie down in here so it's not seen. There. Sometimes your ruffles can be a little bit poofy, so you need to kind of play with your ribbon a little bit. I'm actually going to cut this off. That's a little bit too much pipe thinner in here for me. It's a little bit too much. Let's snip that off. Probably should plug my glue gun in because I do have some sunflowers I wanted to add. So I should probably go grab that. Let me just finish getting my little bow in here. And I think I'm going to do another piece of black on the end. I like the way that black looks. These are really long. I only ended up using one piece of this orange. So we got a bunch of different kinds of ribbon going on here, but you know, I'm okay with that. I wanted to add these colors. I wanted to incorporate these colors. So I think I'm going to try something though. I have an idea. I feel like I need more black on the end. I think I'm going to take this orange out. It's kind of like the lonely man out here, and I'm not happy with that. So I think what I'm going to do, and I hope I didn't mess myself up because I already cut my pipe cleaner. I'm going to get this orange out of here. I'm going to take this out of here and move it over and put green with it instead of yellow. So let's fix this. And then I'm going to put some more black and white on the end. Stay with me here. I'm going to get rid of that. This is a little too long in my opinion. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gingham, pair it with the green, just like I have on this side. And put it here. So we're even. I think that's going to look a lot better. Trying to make my bow tie, and the ends are dovetailed, and it's a little bit harder to do a bow tie when your ends are dovetailed, but this is how my ribbon was cut, and this is all the gingham I have left, so I gotta kind of make it work. Normally when I'm doing my little bow ties, I cut the ribbon a little bit longer. So if your ribbon tails themselves, or say they're 13 inches, I do my bow ties at 15 inches. If your ribbon tails are 14, I do my bow ties at 16. But again, I'm working with what I have. So now we have, it's more even. So I can go back to my last piece of this, but I'm not going to be able to put a bow tie in the middle. I'll have to do my bow tie a different color. I won't be able to do a black and white bow tie. That's that's okay. I'll just do a yellow. My little itty bitty piece of pipe cleaner I have left here. This is why you probably shouldn't cut your pipe cleaner down until you're absolutely sure that you're done. Okay. I kind of like that. Let's step back a minute and move this out of the way, move that out of the way. I like that with the black and white. Now it's even on each end. Let's pretend that we have a black and white bow tie in the middle here instead of a yellow. Yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna let that bother me. Normally I would let it bother me, but I'm not gonna. And actually what I'm gonna do is I have these that I was going to add, these little sunflowers. You can kind of, whoops, his little center came out. Oh no. It's because I pulled them off too hard off of the stem here. There we go. So you can kind of add these here and there. You don't have a ton of room. Instead of putting a bow tie in one, you can put your sunflower. I could even still put that on top of my bow tie there, or even in the top of that one, like that. I think I might even do that. I like the way that looks like that. You don't want to go crazy with your sunflowers, but I think I like that, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll glue them on after. Maybe I'll plug my glue gun in now quick. Get that done while I'm showing you how to add your hanger. You may see it's getting loud. Let me plug my glue gun in real quick. Just going to put it right over here because it's not really going to reach my table. I'm going to kind of set it on the floor. Let's take these off for a minute. That's where I'm going to put those. But what I use to hang mine, you can use ribbon. You can use butcher's twine or string. I've seen that. I'm going to be using this jute cord. You don't have to put a super long hanger on there. Let me see how many inches this is. Maybe do like 18 or 20 inches. I don't like that's got a weird piece on. Let me cut that end piece off. I don't know what that is. I'm going to do mine at like 18 inches. It depends on how long you want your hanger to be. I think 18 inches is good. And it's got the little holes here. You got your little holes. Oh, that looks cute. Again, if you're going to be hanging this outside and it's going to be getting wet, I strongly recommend spraying it with a protectant spray, a UV spray or some sort of a sealant to protect it if it gets wet. Because especially now, if it is painted, You don't want it to get damaged in the rain. I may still add a bow later. I might have to go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere and get some more, I think some gingham ribbon. I can do like maybe the gingham and the red and the green and do a bow with those two. I think that would be pretty. I'm not making mine too awful long because I don't have a bow on it right now. But when if I want to go back and add a bow, I might want to make my hanger a little bit longer.
You done?
Almost.
I'm gonna shout.
Go ahead.
I don't want to cry. Oh, she's on the bed.
Just leave her. I'm recording right now.
Can't breathe outside.
Oh, no. Okay, so my hanger's a little bit short, but I don't have a bow on it yet. When I go to add a bow, I may go ahead and add, make this a little bit longer. But if you're not going to have a bow, that's a nice length to have. So let me glue my sunflowers in, and we'll be done. I'm just going to put them right in the middle of my bows. I think that looks cute. These are just from Dollar General, I think. They have some nice flowers there. Put this one here. And then we'll go right in the end and make it even. So this came out super cute. And it didn't take long at all. How long have I been recording for? Hold on, my battery's about to die too. It's probably been about 45 minutes. That's it. And it's done. And I will get this video out to you guys ASAP, probably by the end of the night. And I can't wait to see yours. Talk to you soon. Bye, thank you.